Chapter 2. The difference between human interactions and the interaction from human being to God. How should a human being relate to God so she or he can be balanced, healthy, and walking on the ascending side of life? The relationship between God and man is not bilateral. There is one energy flow from man to God and a totally different responding energy flow from God to man. I use the term of God to define an entirety of entities. Excuse me, can you repeat, please? You are excused. An entirety of entities. Why are you looking at me like that? How do you define God? What do you mean, how do I define God? I have no answer to that. This is a question that's totally out of my depth, Mary. Good question, Mary. Thank you. That's a question to take home and meditate upon. That's a homework question. Mom, you must understand that the boundless cannot be limited to a single entity. Well then, is it divided? Spread? Yes, the boundless is divided. Well, divided in what? What exactly is it made of? It is divided in small, self-sustaining, independent units of energy. Shall I write units with a capital U? Well, I think you can answer this question yourself. All you have to do is think about whose units are we talking about. By the way, respect is necessary, very necessary. There is a hierarchy of energies which is maintained and looked after by guess who? Who? By the good old Mr. Newton. Mr. Bomb developer? A bomb born after involuntary head contact with a mixture of vitamins shaped into a fruit with shank and seeds and known widely and heartily as the apple. Oh my goodsie. No matter what, you keep coming back to food. Gravity is important because it has two functions. First, it is the law of the universe that maintains discipline among the energies, making sure each and every type of energy stays where it belongs and does what it has to do. Secondly, gravity keeps the physical bodies prisoners, my opinion, on Earth. A human being refines oneself in two ways. First, through his relationship with God, and secondly, through his relationship with another human being. Alright? By refine, I mean cleaning off the human being everything that prevents her or him from walking on the ascending side of life. Now let me tell you how this refining takes place. It transforms the consumer into creator. And this transformation is the reason that the person's relationship with God becomes stronger. God's purpose for creating the human being was to transfer his power of creation to him, to the human being. To make little creators out of the big creator. On the other hand, the consumer human being is the creation of the human society, and has absolutely no connection whatsoever with what was the human being destined from divinity to be. My weakness was the lack of capacity to receive and generate joy. I was a tough teacher. All my life, until recently, I didn't know how to use my knowledge on the ascending side of life. After a whole life that you lived consciously running away from your death and denying your joys and delights because you had no time for them, you were on a very strict mission and schedule of raising up people. How did you manage to resile after the horrible disease you've been through? I've changed my way. I've changed my way of thinking about time and the way it must be used. And also about the way that we allow time to make use of us mortals. What has this change of perception consisted in? Because practically this was the one that brought you back to life. This is the one that was the source of miracle in your life. It consisted in creating a new habit, namely, to use my time to build and enjoy my accomplishments instead of using time to counteract the harm that some people try to do to me. Make a sound judgment now. Such a powerful generator of energy and information flows couldn't possibly handle only the thinking process. That would be boring for an organ as brilliant and competent as the human brain. Most important, it would contradict the level of complexity it has. All those neuronal networks don't flash over for nothing. What do you mean? They create life. Explain, please. The neurons are the physical components of what we call the soul. Shall we teach the children love, Professor? Love and biochemistry, so they can understand exactly the main mechanisms of life. Very nice you think it, but do you think it can also be done? No, I don't think so. Not as long as the teachers do not willingly increase their perceptiveness, empathy, and compassion. I cannot but bring this up because it's been baking my noodles since we started to talk. What if... Pay attention. I'm paying attention. What if I'm your student and I am a godless? Wait. And not only am I godless, but I also warn you. Don't try to thrust the faith upon me, because I will not accept it. In other words, you are a feisty godless. Well, honestly, I take pity on such people because I know what's waiting for them in the next place, and it's not encouraging at all. What exactly is it waiting for them in the next place? All the knowledge they should have acquired here on earth with the help and guidance of divine logic, all the knowledge that they refuse to allow in their minds under the pretense of being rebels, that's what they call themselves in a subtle way, they will be asked about that knowledge when they go to the next place, because That's a knowledge that everyone should have, and because they don't have it, they will not be allowed to get on the upper level of conscience. They will have to live again on earth until they learn their lesson. As you can see, the rebellion can mean sometimes the lack of individual evolution, so be careful. Hey, I'm not the cat who swallowed the canary. Aren't you? I think we ought to tell the readers what certain benefit they will get if they apply my principles. You're right. Or better said, we ought to show them how they can succeed at the highest level without waiting slaughter, because this is actually what your book is about.